Can Bitcoin get to $100,000 by the end of the month? Well, maybe. But we're at least going to $98,000, at least that is according to one prominent analyst. I'll be breaking all that down for you in today's video. Also some big news out of Australia regarding ETFs, big Ethereum news, and some big gaming news as well. So make sure to stick around till the end of the video to catch all of the good news. My name's Lark. Every day I make videos talking about cryptocurrency investing. So if that's a topic you'd like to learn some more about, maybe just stay up to date with, you should definitely subscribe to the Lark Davis channel. Also, you can take a quick second to tap on that thumbs up button just for the YouTube algorithm. I would massively appreciate that. Also, if you do want to receive a notification when I put out a new video, click on that notification bell. By the way, if you are a trader, then go and get yourself an account on Femex. It is the best exchange for longing and shorting Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, all of the most popular cryptocurrencies. They also have a zero fee spot market. Use the link down below in the description to start your account. You're going to get 10% off of your trading fees and up to $1,200 in bonuses. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the charts here. Been a very interesting few days here for Bitcoin. Obviously, altcoins have been going insane. It's been an incredible weekend. We've seen some of our favorite altcoins like Wilder World just absolutely mooning. It's been totally nuts. A lot of the gaming coins and metaverse coins have been going pretty crazy over the weekend. We're starting to see DOT moving as we get closer to the parachain auction launch here in 9 days time now. So DOT finally got over $50. Fingers crossed we can see this bad boy get up to be a 3-digit coin. But old man Bitcoin. Let's talk about old man Bitcoin. Bitcoin has just had its highest monthly close ever. Ethereum also just had its highest monthly close ever. Good job, boys. Now let's look in the closer time frames. This is actually in the 4-hour chart here. I know we usually look at the daily. We're going to zoom into the 4-hour chart here just to get a little bit of a better idea of what's been going on with the price action here for Bitcoin recently. So you can see back here on the 28th, we had this epic candle with this just incredible wick. Price came down, smashed into, of course, our previous area of resistance, which has now been flipped into support. Came back up with some strong buying pressure. That move actually was the one that kind of set us up for pushing over our downtrend, which is right here. Of course, Bitcoin has been in a downtrend since we hit our new all-time highs. Tried again to break out on the 25th, but all we did was put in a lower peak. However, now we have actually had that breakout moment. But then what happened? Well, the price came back down. We broke out and we broke down. Happens sometimes. But what's very interesting for me, and I wanted to point out today, was look at what happened. So we came up, we failed to hold above $62,000. That has been a pretty sticky area of price resistance. You can see, of course, it acting as resistance here, as resistance here, resistance way back earlier this year as well. Here we see again acting as resistance. Broke up a little bit above it, came back down, smashed into it as resistance again, resistance again, resistance again. But what's very interesting is that we've actually had a retest 1, 2, 3 separate times over the last few days of this line right here. Now this, of course, is our downtrend line here. We did break above it. We've stayed above the downtrend line. And what have we done? We have retested this downtrend line, which used to be resistance, flipping it into support. That is a technically bullish move here for the markets. So I'm pretty excited to see that. I think it's been some pretty interesting price action over the last few days, but I'm very encouraged to see these kind of retests happening here on our downtrend line. So as long as we keep above this, I would say we are just starting to inch our way into a new uptrend here for Bitcoin. Obviously, $62,000, that is the number to beat right now. We'd like to see some good closes happening above 62K, preferably on the daily time frame, with some decent volume backing it up. That, of course, would get us ready to then start talking about moving up towards a new all-time high. But 62K, that seems to be the number to beat at the moment, as it has been key resistance over the last few weeks. Now, $100,000 Bitcoin. The stock to flow creator Plan B. He's saying no $100,000 Bitcoin in November. Well, he's not necessarily saying that, but he's saying Bitcoin could pass $98,000 in November. Now, it is worth pointing out, by the way, it's worth pointing out that he's done pretty well nailing the last few months. The last 3 months, he's basically, called those months in terms of their price action. In fact, his prediction for October. His prediction for October was actually that we'd come in around $63,000 by the end of the month. We came in with the monthly close around $61,500, so pretty damn close if you ask me. Well, this model, which has been pretty damn accurate up to this point, is indicating we could see a major rally for Bitcoin over the month of November, potentially going up to $98,000. So it's not a 6-digit Bitcoin, guys. I'm sorry. It's not $100,000 Bitcoin. May as well just stop playing now. It's only $98,000 by the end of November. Who wants $98,000 Bitcoin? We all want $100,000 Bitcoin, man. Come on, dude. But obviously, if we do get that happening, that is an incredible rally. And is there any historical precedence for such a rally happening in November? Well, you must realize we have just had Uptober. It's a real thing. It happened. Look it up. It's in the dictionary. Now we are on to Moonvember. Uptober leads to Moonvember. Now, Moonvember tends to be a pretty gosh darn good month. As we can see, in the year following the Bitcoin halving in the month of November, Bitcoin tends to do very, very well. So we can see here, 2013, we had a Bitcoin halving in 2012 here. 2013, of course, beautiful, beautiful big rally for Bitcoin. That November was actually a pretty dramatic one. We had, of course, a great October, 48.2% gains, and November went absolutely freaking crazy times here, 470% gains in November. Of course, that was the top of the bull market there for 2013. Then I think China banned Bitcoin for the first time. Actually, I think it was the first time China banned Bitcoin back there, right at the end of November or the start of December. Can't remember exactly when it was, but obviously you can see December was then a pretty meh month for Bitcoin. Now fast forward to 2017, again, Bitcoin halving in 2016. 2017, great year for Bitcoin. As you can see, of course, our Septembers are always very lackluster. September 2017, not super awesome. October 2017, 48% gains approximately. November 2017 was a very, very good month, 54% gains. Now, if we were to put that on the chart here, let's just bring up our daily candles here. So if we were to put, for example, let's just say a 50% gain on here. Well, that would actually get us up from the current price action, of course. That would get us up to around a $90,000 Bitcoin. That is very, very possible. Remember, that's basically what has happened in the last month. Let's go right here to the 1st of October. What kind of price action do we have? Oh, look at that. 62% gains from the start of October up until the high point in October, 62%. So Bitcoin's obviously very capable of doing these kinds of gains. Uptober happened. Moonvember follows Uptober. That is where we are looking at now. If we were to get to Plan B's $98,000 Bitcoin goal, that would also be another 60% month. Can Bitcoin do it? Of course Bitcoin can do it. Bitcoin has a tendency to do these high performance moves. And of course, a $100,000 Bitcoin, we would need a 64% rally within the month for Bitcoin. So it's a big move. It's a big move. It's a lot of money to come into Bitcoin. Let's just keep that real. One big news event like, Facebook announcing they bought some Bitcoin or something could be the kind of catalyst that would push us up like that. We can also see here Bitcoin average historical returns over the last 8 years. So this is the bottom graph here, is the percent of months that Bitcoin closed higher. So Q3 tends to be a pretty rough month. We are now through Q3, and you can see 71% of October's Bitcoin closed higher, 71% of November's Bitcoin closed higher, 57% of December's Bitcoin closed higher. Now, what's the average return been through those months? Again, this is for the last 8 years, so this includes bear markets and all that stuff, right? not sort of the more bullish information that I just shared with you about the year after the halving during the 4-year cycle biggest bull phase, which is kind of what we're in right now. But even then, even with an 8-year historical average accounting for all the lackluster, just savagery and all the stuff that happens in the markets, we still had October 18% gains, November 11% gains, and December average of 15% gains for Bitcoin. So even if we ended up with just a meager, measly little 11% gain at the end of the month for Bitcoin, well, you know, I guess we could take that. That would be fine. That would actually get us up just barely or just close to a new all-time high. So we'd either just get nailed at resistance or just peak over a new all-time high if that were to be the return. But again, that doesn't actually fit with the returns that we typically see the year after a Bitcoin halving. So just keep that in mind. Also worth noting that in Moonvember, the S&P 500 also tends to have a very, very good month. So data shows that November is the best month also for the S&P 500. And usually what's good for the goose is also good for the gander. So when the S&P 500 is doing good, crypto usually doing pretty good right along with it. So we would expect that if we see a nice month for equity markets, we'll also see a nice month for crypto markets. Now, as we have been talking about, the open interest right now for Bitcoin remains very, very high. Now, usually this is something, just one of those kind of like, moment perhaps of consideration should be taken here, because that's saying that a lot of the market is, of course, getting into derivatives, and that could cause one of those cascading flash crashes that we see so frequently in crypto. But here's some very, very interesting information that I came across today regarding the current open interest for Bitcoin. This is it. Derivatives markets right now are only 45% margined with Bitcoin, meaning they're 55% margined with cash. So right now, we are seeing a lot more cash versus Bitcoin being used to trade Bitcoin with. Now, compare that back to April. We had 70% of the derivatives markets backed by Bitcoin marginalized trades. It's a big difference. So what does that mean practically? That yes, the open interest is very, very high. However, it's not the end of the world, because we have seen a lot of that open interest going into cash trades versus Bitcoin instead of Bitcoin denominated trades versus Bitcoin. So that's something just to keep in mind, a little bit of a factoid there for you. Now let's get into a little bit of news here. Australia's top securities regulator has said that it is going to approve a Bitcoin ETF. Nice. Good on you, Australia. Good on you. I like it. And of course, I would just like to point out, what are the Australians going to get? They're getting a spot Bitcoin ETF. So just, America, man, really sucks for you guys. Really sucks for you guys. You have these regulators that just seem to, I don't know. It's like they hate you. It's crazy stuff. Canada got spot Bitcoin ETFs. Brazil got spot Bitcoin ETFs. Australia is soon going to approve spot Bitcoin ETFs. And what does the US give you? What do US regulators think is the safest product for people? Cash-backed futures products. Garbage. The garbagiest of garbage ETFs you could buy. Everybody wants the spot Bitcoin ETF because that's what actually drives real value in the market. Now, this is great. Australia obviously is a big economy. They've got big equity markets. So I think it's a very positive thing to see a Bitcoin ETF coming to Australia. I think you'll see a lot of Australians getting into a Bitcoin ETF in exactly the same way we've seen it play out in Canada, for example. A lot of Canadians have got in. We've seen tens of thousands of Bitcoin actually being bought up off of the open markets, put into these ETF contracts, and then people can buy them on their favorite brokerage. The Canadian Bitcoin ETF has been nothing but a net positive for Bitcoin. The Brazilian one, the Australian one will be, the US one, come on, America. Come on, man. What are you guys doing over there? I tell you, Australia's out here eating your lunch. Now, let's talk a little bit about some Ethereum news just quickly, because this is incredible what's happened over the last week. So we have now officially had our first week of negative net issuance for Ethereum, which is incredible. Absolutely incredible stuff. So over the last week, we've had 93,850 Ethereum given out as block rewards to miners. During that time, 101,674 Ethereum have been burned. What? That's crazy. Of course, that means a net issuance of minus 7,824 Ethereum over the last 7 days, as well as a net reduction of 108%. Nice. This is super, super cool. I mean, this is crazy stuff right here. Ethereum, even before the triple halving, which is coming as we move towards the proof of stake era for Ethereum. And man, I hope it does something about the gas fees for Ethereum, because it's been painful using Ethereum recently. It's like, just because I can afford to pay the fees on Ethereum does not mean I want to pay the fees on Ethereum. It's painful sometimes, right? So I've been playing around a lot more on other chains, but still there's some things like the convex finance farm, which I just like. And, it costs a lot in gas fees. But anyway, getting off track here, but this is a pretty amazing thing for Ethereum to see this actually a negative net issuance finally coming in. The move to proof of stake probably happening Q1 2022. You know how tech deadlines are. We might see it Q2 2022, maybe Q3, hopefully Q1. Fingers crossed for Q2. But that move is going to be massive, because when we do move to proof of stake, they're bringing in the triple halving. Now that is going to cut the block rewards for Ethereum by 90%. That means that over the last week, those rewards of 90,000 Ethereum would have been like, what, 9,000 Ethereum, right? Which means that over the last week, we would have burned like 90,000 Ethereum, which would have been crazy stuff, man. Absolutely crazy stuff. So EIP 1559, the burning mechanism, basically an automated stock buyback program built into Ethereum, is working exactly as intended. Nice. Final news for today. Ubisoft has announced their plans to develop play-to-earn gaming. Now, Ubisoft, if you're not in the gaming world, they're kind of a big deal. They do some gaming stuff, let's say. Anyway, they're one of the world's biggest gaming studios. So these guys are actually coming out and bringing in play-to-earn games. Now, this is amazing because we've seen recently Steam, they came out and they said, well, we're not going to allow any blockchain or NFT stuff in our ecosystem. We've seen other game developers in response to that come out and say, actually, you know what? We're going to do some crypto games here, man, because we see where things are heading. We see the opportunity, and I remain of the opinion that crypto gaming is going to be one of the biggest freaking trends of this decade within crypto, because people like playing games. All this DeFi stuff, I like it. It's nerdy, and taking your liquidity protocol, liquidity provider tokens and using them to do stuff other play. All this stuff's cool. I like it. I really, really do. But people like playing games. Realistically, this is going to bring so many people on board the crypto train, getting in play to earn games, earning gold coins in the game that can actually then be exchanged for real coin. It's a pretty cool idea. Getting in-game items, in-game land, cars, whatever kind of stuff you can imagine. It's going to be freaking massive. And this is the exact kind of thing that reminds me of what we see happening like with the credit card companies. We've seen Visa and MasterCard. Boom. Both those companies going balls freaking deep into crypto. They see where the future is heading, and they don't want to get blockbustered. And then you have the American Express CEO coming out being like, we're not going to do anything related to crypto. It's not a threat to our business model. Like, dude, Seriously? Do you know anything about crypto? Because crypto is a big threat to your business model. Same thing happening with the gaming companies here. The smart gaming companies are going, holy crap, this is massive. How can we get on board? How can we take part in this new hot trend that everybody's talking about? Other companies are going to go, nope, we're not going to partake in that. In fact, you're not allowed to do any of that stuff over here. Just get out of here. We like Blockbuster. It's a great company, right? Walking down and getting videos. It's never going to go out of style. VHS forever. Yep. Some companies will be blockbustered. It's just Darwinism, I guess. Anyway, guys, my 2 Satoshis for today. Your question, what do you think about the prediction that Bitcoin could get up to $98,000 in the month of November, according to the stock to flow model? Do you think it's a realistic thing to happen based on how accurate the model has been in the past? Or do you think that, no, look, it's just too much, too far. We're not going to have another 60% month for Bitcoin. The model will be proven wrong. Let me know down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching today's video, and peace out till next time.